Paymetric's enhanced reporting provides a view of the payment card related data in your SAP system beyond what standard SAP reports provide. The PCMA main menu is typically not provided to users in a production environment. Individual transactions are assigned to user profiles. However, this menu does provide single screen access to all of the reports. They're broken up by functional areas, so sales and distribution, financial accounting, some enhanced settlement tools, and some administration tools. Also in the menu are Paymetric's XI Recon solution and receivables management solutions. Under sales and distribution, the first report, Payment Card Authorization Response by Date, allows for the viewing of all authorization responses on a given date. So if we execute this, we can see that for today, we've had many authorizations performed. Some have been invoiced and some are outstanding and still in an approved status. In all of the reports across the row, we provide as much information as possible about each individual transaction. So you can see things such as the card type, the token with the last 4 digits, the expiration date. Then off to the far right, some of the other details such as the authorization numbers and Paymetric transaction IDs, the address verification response codes, and any response texts that have been provided. Also with all of the reports, any of the documents that are listed, if the user has the proper authority to view that document type, they can simply click on the document number to view that document. The next report is showing all payment card activity by a given partner number. So here we're going to run this report for customer 11,001 for the sold to party function. And again, we'll see all of the authorization details that have been created for that user on today's date. And again, we could click on any of the document numbers to view additional details. You can restrict the report by a given customer number, the type of partner, whether it's a sold to, a bill to, etc. The next report adds additional functionality in SAP. The Expiring Payment Card Authorizations report is a report intended to proactively identify authorizations that have expired based on the settings in your system and refresh those authorizations or attempt to do so. When we run this report, you can see that for the date range I've entered, there's a number of authorizations that originally were approved, but now based on our configuration settings are marked as expired. In standard SAP, you would not know that an authorization is expired until you try and perform a subsequent document function, so creating a delivery, creating an invoice. However, in order to avoid the problems that occur when a document is created with an expired authorization and that document subsequently being placed on hold, this report can be run as a nightly batch job or manually as we're doing here to attempt to refresh that authorization. So we'll select just the first item here and forward it to authorization and save. This will cause the order to be resaved, and the standard SAP logic will determine that a new authorization is required, and we'll see the response listed here. In this case, the new response is approved. This approved response has all of the authorization response details listed off to the right as we discussed previously. When run as a nightly batch job, this will help you proactively find and refresh expired authorizations, preventing issues with your warehouse being able to deliver or being able to post these invoices to accounting. Another report listed under sales and distribution and also on the financial accounting side is listing all documents with payment card information. This is an especially useful report when you want to find documents on which a particular card was used, and as with all of these reports, we need to enter the token number rather than the raw card. We can either copy a token in, as I've done here, or you could open up the XI Intercept for SAP solution and enter the details there. However, once I have those authorization details entered, and I'll put a date range here again, when I execute this report, I'll get a list of all the authorization responses for that particular card and which documents they are referenced on. So we can see standard sales orders, credit and debit memos. As I scroll down, we'll begin to see invoice numbers and then finally accounting document numbers. Very useful report when you want to find an authorization or a reference to a credit card on a specific document. A customer calls in and says, I have a charge for $400 on this date. I can't find a reference in my system, nor can I find a receipt from you. This would help your customer service agent to quickly locate that particular document within your system. Again, clicking on that document if they have the proper security rights and viewing that information with the customer. On the financial accounting side, we have reports that allow you to view information in settlement batches at a much greater level of detail than the standard SAP report. So for batch 450, I can approximate the processor fees. I'll put in percentages for all of the card types that are in that batch, in this case just Visa and MasterCard, and our report will break this out by credits and debits with a subtotal and grand total, and then we'll approximate the fees for the debits. At the bottom you'll see a restatement of those summaries and the total fees that are approximated. This report can easily be exported to an Excel spreadsheet and emailed to someone internally if they don't have access to run it directly in SAP. And you can resort and recombine the information in this report in any way you wish. That report is by batch number. Another similar report shows information across a date range. So if you wanted to, for example, find all of the credit card activity for the first quarter of 2017, we could put in those ranges and you would see again all of the information across batch numbers subtotaled by credits and debits with the restatement at the bottom. In this case I did not approximate fees, but we could do that as well. But this would be the full accounting of all credit card related activity for the first quarter of 2017. Again, export it to an Excel spreadsheet if you wish to use it outside of SAP. Save it as a Word document or as a comma delimited file if you want to share it with others. You can see again that we have several other reports and utilities. The last one, which I will point out, is down here in the administration tools section. This allows you to have a quick view of all of the RFC connection statuses within your system based on all the RFCs that you've set up within your SM59 transaction. Gives you a quick view as to whether or not the connectivity to Paymetric from your SAP system is active or not. So this gives you a quick overview of some of the additional reports and utilities that we provide from our enhanced reporting suite. Again, all of these reports have been developed to provide you a better view on the data that's already stored in your SAP system.